It never disturbs anyone. I look at for my convenience because every Quran is polymorphic. Every Quran is polymorphic. The way in which you want to interpret a Quran, you can interpret. That is a power. That is a richness of Quran. Okay? So I take shelter under that. Since it is polymorphic, I view the way in which I want to interpret. It never disturbs anyone. One is mathematics, the other is words. Okay? The second Quran. Having defined this, I am coming to what? The abstraction. So first I talked about modeling, then I am coming to what? Abstraction. Rather both are one and the same. But explicitly I want to specify this is something different. Okay? In that aspect, I have, identified, I have taken a Quran from the book, Tirukkural, Aruvine Enba Ulavu, Kariviyan Kalam Arindu Sein. Aruvine Enba Ulavu, Kariviyan Kalam Arindu Sein. Computer, even Valluvar talked about this. Valluvar talked about this. Some people may say, because of the outside temperature, I am bluffing. 2000 years back, I doubt very much whether it was there. Computer, this also he talked about. Who? Valluvar. Such a visionary. Such a visionary. Right? Why? The word he has used is what? Karuvi. There is no hard job if you have a good instrument. Right? The excellence component is thrown. You would appreciate. Now I can put AI tools there. I can put AI tools. So if you feel some task is hard, with the tools you are able to handle it. And of course, appropriate time. So such a rich and powerful word, Quran. Aruvine enba ulavo, karuviyan kalam arindu seyin. So anything you want to fit, you can fit. It will never disturb anybody. Am I correct or not? It is a tool. Right, okay. Then the next Quran, if I go on talking this, this is again the same thing on similar lines. Kariviyum kalamum seyyum aruvinayum mandadu amachi. Again it talks about that. Amachi means governance. Amachi means governance. For that also what is required? Time, appropriate time, good tools. All the time you will be able to solve the problem. What a visionary, right? I admire and I salute the great gentleman. And this is still a fantastic Quran. Sorry, if MBA graduates are here, don't curse me. If you know this Quran, MBA degree is not necessary. With due respect to all MBA graduates. Right. Idanai, idanal, ivan mudikum, endaindu, adanai, avankan, udan. Right? Identify and assign. I wonder, the then Chief Minister identified Professor Ananda Krishnan for what? The Tamil computing. You would understand, he was the chairman Higher Education Council. He assigned this task only to this great person. So identify and assign. Idanai, idanal, அது dinky பாங்கி இல்லை. It is not dinky பாங்கி. It is endaindu. Please remember that there is a rider, a strong rider there. It is not just like that what is that you are assigning. Identify not arbitrarily, right? With some, sense. So, idanai, idanal, ivan mudikum, endaindu, adane, avangan udal. Female ladies, don't mistake me. Don't curse Thiruvalluvar for not using that towel. It is applicable. It is applicable. In that time, you have to accept that period. Able to understand? So it is generic. It is very, very generic. Amazingly a fantastic Quran. Then, these are all associated with what? Abstraction. And more the abstraction, better survival. More the abstraction, better the survival. A talk is a good talk provided it is highly abstract. Right? A theory is a meaningful theory if it is abstract. Newton's, three law? To every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So abstract, right? It is independent of place, time, anything for that matter. So, Then the next one, which is very close to my heart, is adaptability. I'm a teacher. Many times parents used to come and ask, after 4 years, whether this program is having the same charm like what it is today. I used to tell them I am not an astrologer, right? Because we don't know next time, next minute what is going to happen. Am I correct? All these people, most of them are Udan's people. Hope you know that. Am I correct or not? Okay. So I am not an astrologer to tell this program after 4 years will have the, what is it, will have great demand. And this program will have great demand. Absolutely idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. But what assurance I used to give to the parents is, right, we will make your students adaptable. We will make your wards adaptable. If they are not able to adapt, no survivor. Absolutely there is no survivor. There are many civil engineers doing exceptionally well in IT. There are many mechanical engineers doing phenomenally well in IT. Some of the top-notch people are, what is it, mechanical engineers, right, or production engineers. So absolutely no, they are quickly able to what? Adapt. That is what I mean by adaptability. And Valluvar talks about adaptability. Valluvar talks about adaptability. The fantastic Quran, amazingly a pleasant Quran, excellent Quran, a Quran which is very close to my heart. Very, very close to my heart. All the places I used to talk about this Quran. Amaindu Angu Olugan, one who is not able to adapt. When I come to this hall, I should know the pulse of the audience. Am I correct or not? I could smell and sense, I should read. அதுக்கு கூட குறிப்பறிதல் நீ வச்சிருக்கிறார் யார் வள்ளுவர். ரெண்டு இருக்குது, லவ்ல இன்பத்து பாலில் ஒன்று இருக்குது, அறத்து பாலில் கூட ஒன்று இருக்குது, குறிப்பறிதல், ரைட்? So that is very important. I could read, I could smell, sense. So, அமைந்து ஆங்கு ஒழுகான், one who is not able to adapt. அளவு அறியான், one who doesn't know the scope. The scope is very interesting, but as a teacher, I have to inject value education also to the student. Not only transfer what is available in the book to the student, some value education. When you travel in the night in a bike, street dogs will follow shouting at you. Am I correct or not? Barking. Though it is capable of running, after some point, it will hand over charge to the next street dog. Say, yes, sir. You should have experience. Especially those who are sitting in the pillion will be able to understand, right? The effect of what? These dogs. Dogs are much, much smarter. They know their boundaries. After this point, if I go, the other street dogs may bite, the other street people may throw stone, we may not be able to reach our place. That is the reason it is coming back, though it is capable of running. Seriously. So, Alavariyan, many times people don't know their scope. Enna pesarane theriyad, enga pesarane theriyad. Whether this is meaningful, this place, absolutely they don't know. They will go on bluffing. They go on talking something. Whether it is meaningful, relevant, they never bother. Absolutely, they never bother. Then third one, there is no need, I have to tell, Tannai Viyantan, self-boosting. So, to get ruin, Nasama Poradukku, Moonu. Explicita Solirano, Najamavi. Not able to adapt. What is that? Scope. In programming language, I used to tell this is scope of an identifier. Those who are compatible with programming language will be able to appreciate this is nothing but scope of where a variable is recognized. Where a variable is recognized. And then the last one is boosting. Continuously talking about themselves. Right? So if that three are there, natural death. Okay? Right. So we have to check all the time. I used to tell the students as part of value education, what will bring happiness to the parent is, your parents should say, My son is amazingly good in classification. My daughter is amazingly good in what? Classification. That day is the happiest day for the parents. Am I correct or not? Whether it comes by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, my ward knows what to do, what not to do. Am I correct? So context, everything. All the things are very, very clearly given in 4 plus 3, 7 words. No need you have to go to any, sorry, right, okay, absolutely no need, right? Then another kural. This is also equally important for adaptability. உலகத்தோடு ஒட்ட உலகல் பலகற்றும் கல்லார் அறிவிலாதர். Right? எவ்வளவு வேணாலும் படிச்சிருக்கலாம். If you are not able to, what is that, aligned with the world, it is of no use. Again, another kind of what? Adaptability. Right? I should not waste by talking too much on something which you people are not able to appreciate. Quickly I have to, what is that, adapt to this environment. Then the next important thing and the most important thing what is it, project many times is the importance of evaluation. In what way it is connected with this title, Tirukkural, all the things you will be able to connect. If you look at teaching learning process, 3 things are very important. One is content, the other is delivery, the last one is evaluation. It is a CDE process. Content is curriculum. And delivery is not PowerPoint presentation. Delivery is not PowerPoint presentation. Because many colleges who are having AI program, but finally it is only PowerPoint presentation. Okay? It is not PowerPoint presentation. It talks about the competency of the faculty. Delivery means teaching. A letter is delivered means whether it reached the other side. Am I correct or not? It is not throwing and going. So that is what does it mean by whether a letter is delivered. It should reach the concerned person. So teaching is reaching. Such competency faculty are available. That is delivery. The third one is most important thing, evaluation. Right? Most important thing is evaluation. This person, Valluvar, great visionary, right? After 2000 years back, he sensed open AI tools will be there. Open AI tools will be there. ChatGPT, am I correct? Gemini, Copilot, etc., etc., etc. All are available. A teacher gives an assignment and immediately assignment is available. Immediately assignment is available. Now the question is whether the teacher has to evaluate the paper or the person. Able to understand? Right? So in that aspect, I am projecting the importance of evaluation. Adha kuda Valluvar solittu poirukkarar. How many engineering colleges are there? With register, I should talk very carefully. Around 450 colleges are there approximately. 450 engineering colleges are there. From all the colleges are computer science is there. Am I correct? Say, sir, is there any? There are hardly 1 or 2 colleges may not have computer science, but invariably all the colleges are having computer science program is there. From all the 450 engineering colleges under Anna University, why Anna University including deemed university? Many engineering degree holders are coming out. I am very careful. Many engineering degree holders are coming out. Whether all are able to get job, though you say IT is in boom or whatever it means, whether all could get a job? No. Am I correct or not? There are students who are able to get, there are students who are not able to get what? Job. Say yes or no. So we have 2 categories. One is a degree holder, other is a knowledge holder. One is a degree holder, other is a knowledge holder. Both are available. Then who will be sold in the market? One who is having knowledge. So for that, there is a world-class product. world class Kural. Every college, every institution should teach this Kural. Every faculty should know this Kural. Because I strongly believe, very strongly believe, faculty should take responsibility for the 4 years or the 5 years. Because that period is very sensitive. Hope you are able to appreciate. We are not America. America, people have some amount of money, some amount of time. They will get some credits, right? By 30, they may say, I have a BS degree. But here, if they don't have a degree by 22, 23, they are labeled as Tarudalai. Am I correct? Which is horrible for the parents. So in that aspect, what is required actually is they should come out colorfully with knowledge. So see, with one word he played, only one word. Though it is 4 plus 3, 7 words, he played with only one word, Kattarul. Now, mathematics ஆளு அங்கே ஒரு senior professor கருப்பன் செட்டி retired from RVC TVC here. It is a super set. Maths-ல set theory தெரியும். It is a super set. All the engineering degree holders coming out of 450 colleges on specific domain, mechanical. எப்பவும் computer science இதுக்கே ஓட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறது. Mechanical engineering, right? Mechanical engineering degree holders are coming out. He has not accepted. Who has not accepted? Tiruvallur has not accepted them as what? Kattar. He defines, Valluvar defines Kattarul, a big set. There is a subset, Kattar. Kattarul, Kattar enapaduvavar, every ambiguous redefinition. Definition na Kattar enapaduvar yar. Kattar enapaduvar, Kattar mun. Kattasala solluvar. If I say that I am good in theoretical computer science, I have to convince Professor Venkatesh Raman, who is sitting in front of me. Otherwise, he will not accept. It is not going in Avinash Road or this Hindi Road here and there that I am good in, what is it, computer science. Absolutely no. Nobody will accept. That is what is interview. That is what is interview. People may say, I have a lot of certificates. The company people may say, I don't want any broker. I don't want any broker. All the certificators are brokers. Sorry, most of the certificators are brokers. My students are here, they may curse me. Right? Most of the certificates are broker. Broker you have to believe for what? Where the bride is available, where the bridegroom is available. With that you have to stop. Beyond that, if you believe the broker will say Bay of Bengal belongs to the bride. Am I correct or not? And Valluvar statue belongs to the bridegroom. And Valluvar Kotam belongs to all the things they will say. So you should not believe. Certificate, nobody is prepared to believe. That days have gone. If at all in the through campus, if you get, they will see. That also, the technical manager will never look at. It is a business of the HR to see whether they are eligible. That's all. When you come inside, they will ask, what is your field of interest? What is your field of interest? Field of interest, when you fill up the field, I used to tell my students, when you fill up the field of interest column, you should not look at your neighbor. That should come from your heart. Am I correct or not? Because you are going to face it. They will ask in the interview, which is your field of interest? You are claiming, I have come prepared in this domain. You please ask question. No need you have to answer all the questions. Absolutely no. Right? Super, every word is super. Kattarul, Kattar enapaduvar, Kattar mun, Kattasala solluvar. That word is not commonly used. You are able to articulate, you are able to convince, you are able to impress, right? That is what does it mean by Kattasala solluvar. If you are not able to impress, you are hopeless. Right? Many times people say, I have that, but I was not able to tell. We don't have a MRI machine to, read that answer. Am I correct? The student had that answer, but he was not able to tell. Nobody. So please see that the importance given for evaluation in these days. This is the most important time now. Whether they are able to answer, whether they have, understood. Repeatedly, I am telling, this is the best Quran from, from academic perspective, the best for it. Then it is all rider. This is all rider. இது எல்லாமே இது ரெண்டு அதிகாரம் the best fit for Professor Anandakrishnan. அவை அஞ்சாமை and ஊக்கமுடைமை. 60 and 73 அதிகாரம் நினைக்கிறேன். ரெண்டுக்கும் he is the best person. No compromise. Right? Okay. உளரையும் இல்லாரோடு ஒப்பர் களனஞ்சி கட்ட சொல்ல சொல்லாதார். Again, that is given in a different way. That is given in a different way. They may say that I have. Fantastic. Many times parents used to come and ask, my son is having 9.3 CGPA. The 7.8 got job. 8.1 got job. My son is 9.3. He is not able to get job. நம்மால் தான் அந்த குத்தி படிக்கிற ஆளாச்சுது. Am I correct or not? எல்லாம் 30 படித்து மார்க் வாங்கி ஒரு 10 கொஸ்டின், ரைட்? எல்லாம் well trained, well quota system. Which quota system? Rajasthan quota system study. Able to understand? Right? They study, they get mark. That is not at all accepted. That is the reason. Again, I am telling, certificate or knowledge. Knowledge is more important. All these things already available. Tirukkural is a treasure. அது ஒரு அரை களஞ்சியம். I am not prepared to tell எல்லாமே இருக்குதுன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஏன்னா எல்லாம்னு சொல்றது எனக்கு தெரியாது. Am I correct? எனக்கு என்ன வேணுமோ whatever I want, it is available there as a teacher. I have two roles. One is I am a teacher. The other is a DN placement and training. So in both the cases, I quote what is that only Kural. Whether you are ready, check whether you are competent. Right? This fantastic, very simple Kural. Very simple Kural. No need I have to waste time on this, but I have to invest some time on this. கற்க கசடர கற்பவை கற்றபின் நிற்க அதற்கு தக. When you go and tell a person, முதலாவது போய் தப்பு இல்லாமல் படிடான்னா கோவம் வந்துடும். Am I correct or not? When you say something, we have to give some positive input rather than what? தப்பு இல்லாமல் கற்க கசடர. Rather you tell கற்பவை கற்க, கற்பவை கற்க, நீ என்ன வேணாலும் கற்றுக்க. Whatever you want to learn, you learn. கசடர கற்றபின் நிற்க அதற்கு தக ஒரு கெத்து. Am I correct or not? இது எது மாதிரின்னா இந்த கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸில் ரெண்டு லூப் இருக்குது. while loop and do while. I am for do while rather than what? while do. முதலாவதே போட்டு அவனை கஷ்டப்படுத்துறதுக்கு போல ஏதோ படி do while செக் பின்னால் பார்த்துக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது. In that aspect, whatever you want to learn, you can learn. You want to learn French, you learn. You want to learn AI, you learn. You want to learn something else, you learn. Right? And prove that you are amazingly great. Then only you are respected. Then only you are valued. Otherwise, you don't have any value. I look at, instead of reading Karka Kasadara, all the time I am telling my words, Karpave Karka. Enna venalum kathike. Then pathikalam apdi. This is another interesting thing. This very interesting Quran. Interesting for whom? Interesting for me. I told I am teaching C++ for so many years. C++ could be written as C equal to C plus 1. Mathematics teachers will not appreciate. C and C cancel, 0 equal to 1. Am I correct? They will not allow. It is idiotic. But computer science, it is permitted. Computer science, it is permitted. C equal to C plus 1. New C is equal to old C plus 1. New C is equal to old C plus 1. That's C equal to C plus 1. Your today version should be better than your yesterday version. Your today version should be better than your yesterday version. This is what does it mean by continuous improvement. If your today version is same as yesterday version, what is the value addition? Hey, why all these things? The schools, many parents torture their kids. Many parents torture their kids. How? They look at his friend's mark or neighbor's mark. That fellow would have got 90, this fellow would have got 75. Torture. He got 90, you got only 75. How is it possible? what is that you are doing? You are hopeless, you are idiot. Rather you tell them, today you got 75, tomorrow you get what? 77. No need we have to compare ourselves with other person. Rather we compare with ourselves. That is the richness of this Quran. நெருநல் உளனொருவன் இன்று இல்லை, நேற்று இருந்த ஆளு இன்னைக்கு இல்லை. That is a richness. Okay. Then this is fantastic. Now people say AI is centered on prompt engineering. Am I correct? If you are good in prompt engineering, you are amazingly good in using what? AI tools. அதுக்கு கூட ஒரு ஆன்சர் பச்சிருக்கிறார். In Tamil there is a say, கட்டலில் கேட்டல் நன்று. Am I correct? Say yes sir. For me, கட்டலில் கேட்டல் நன்று, I take it as again polymorphic. I interpret the way in which I want to interpret. கட்டலில் கேட்டல் நன்று means instead of படிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கிற போல கேளு, கேள்வி கேளு. தூங்கிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிற யாருக்காவது வேலை கொடுப்பாங்களா? யாராவது வேலை கொடுப்பாங்களா? அவங்க எல்லாம் மேத்தமெட்டிக்ஸில் எக்ஸ் ஆக்சிஸ், அவங்க எல்லாம் எக்ஸ் ஆக்சிஸ், தூங்கிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறவங்க அதுதானே எக்ஸ் ஆக்சிஸ். ஆமே கரெக்ட். ஹரிசாண்டல் ஆக்சிஸ் இஸ் எக்ஸ் ஆக்சிஸ், இட் இஸ் அ ஸ்லீப்பிங் ஆக்சிஸ். நோபடி வில் கன்சிடர் எ பர்சன் ஹூ இஸ் ஸ்லீப்பிங். யாராவது கொடுப்பாங்களா? கண்டிப்பாக நோபடி வில் கன்சிடர். இஃப் ஹீ ஸ்லீப்ஸ், பீப்புள் வில் சே லெட் ஹிம் ஸ்லீப், let him sleep, don't disturb you. Nobody will bother about others, right? So a horizontal should become vertical. The horizontal should become vertical. That means your x should become y. X axis is horizontal, y is vertical. How a x will become y? Right? It is not C-Boomba technique, or by sprinkle water from tomorrow onwards will become vertical. Absolutely no. X will become y provided y is there. Y. Which y? WHY. The moment you ask why, everything is over. If a kid asks why, we become irrelevant. The teachers become irrelevant. Everything is available in the, what is that, knowledge device, not a disruptive device. Absolutely it is not a disruptive device, it is a knowledge device. Anything you want, right, you will be able to get some result. I will come to that the next one. Hope you are able to understand, right? So question asking continuously to be encouraged. All the time what is to be encouraged is asking question. இது கேள்விங்கிற அதிகாரத்துக்கு கீழே தான் வருது. அது கேள்வி அவர் காது தான் வச்சு பேசுகிறார். நான் கூட சொல்லுவேன், lend your ears not your mouth அப்படின்னு. Lend your ears not your mouth. The surface area of ears is twice the surface area of mouth. So give more importance for ears than mouth. இல்லையா? மவுத்தை குறைச்சாலே நிறைய பிரச்சனை சால்வ் ஆயிரும். அவன் கரெக்ட் ஆனா many times, many times. So listening aspect, ears is given, but I interpret. There is a Quran. கட்டிலன் ஆயினும் கேட்க, கட்டிலன் ஆயினும் கேட்க. நான் கேட்கனா கேள்வி கேளு அப்படி. From the hostel room to the examination hall, sometimes what is that, students will come. ஒன்றும் படிக்காமல் ஒருத்தர் இருப்பான், அவன் படித்தவங்ககிட்ட கேட்டுகிட்டே வருவான், டே இது என்னடா இது என்னடா இது என்னடான்னு. ஃபைனலி யாருக்கு நிறைய மார்க்கு கிடச்சிருக்குன்னா கரெக்டாக அவன் புரிஞ்சு படிச்சிருக்கிறான், அவன் கரெக்டாக இவன் தட்டி படிச்சிருக்கிறான். அண்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸ் வில் கம், என் பையன் சொல்லி கொடுத்தவனுக்கு மார்க்கு அதிகமாக வந்திருக்குது, என் பையனுக்கு குறைச்சலாக வந்திருக்கு. த ஸ்மார்ட்னஸ் இஸ் மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். Able to understand? When he asked the question, he had some desire. Why? When you want to learn something, some interest parameter should be there. Am I correct? Say, sir, if there is no interest parameter, we will not be able to learn anything. Newton's 3 laws taught by the same teacher, same hour, auspicious time. Am I correct or not? First 2 law யோசிப்பாங்க. Am I correct? Newton's 3rd law எல்லாருக்கும் சொல்ல தெரியும். If I irritate PhD tech is great னா அண்ணா யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஆட்கள் எங்களுதும் கிரேட் அப்படிமா. அதனால தான் சண்டைக்கே போகிறதில்லை. நியூட்டன்ஸ் 3rd law. If you irritate, the other person will also what? Irritate. Seriously. Otherwise, I have the habit of rubbing other person. இடிச்சு பார்க்கலாம் அப்படின்னு திருப்பி டப்புன்னு கிடைக்கும்னு தெரிஞ்சா we keep quiet. There is an interest parameter that makes me to register. Many times when you ask question, I used to tell students are not able to answer. It is not retrieval problem. It is storage problem. It is a storage problem. If it is stored, definitely it will be able to retrieve. ரொம்ப பசங்க லெவல் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் தப்பாக எடுத்துக்காதுங்க. மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த பாய்ஸ் நோ தேர் கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் டேட் ஆஃப் பர்த், கேர்ள்ஸ் நோ தேர் பாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் டேட் ஆஃப் பர்த். இப்போ நோ ஹைட் அண்ட் சீக் கேம், எல்லாம் ஆல் க்ரோன் அப் மெச்சூர்டு பீப்புள். ஆமே கரெக்ட்? எஸ் ஆர் நோ? they know. One Sunday, mother asked the son by 12 noon, "Day, did you wish your father?" Instantaneous poi. Till morning 5 o'clock, I was in the lab working on a project. I slept, amma. Just now I got up. I will, wish dad. If it is the other side, midnight, 12 o'clock sharp, message would have been sent. Am I correct or not? Whether the mobile is on or off, the boy is not against the father. That is not the message. The message is there is an interest parameter that makes him to store. So storage is very important. That is the reason repeatedly I tell my faculty colleagues, either you have to create some interest, or the books you recommend should create some interest, or the notes you prepare should give some interest. The moon ilana போகாது, வாத்தியார் வேலைக்கு வராது. Am I correct or not? Able to appreciate? So the interest parameter is very important. All the things are only through keep asking questions. They will ask, they will, store. Then, many reports are generated. அதுக்கு கூட நம்மால் குரல் வச்சிருக்கிறார். யார்? திருக்குறள். இப்போ ஏஐ பீரியட்ல ஃபார் எவ்ரிதிங் you are getting something. Am I correct or not? Last month we went to US. One of my alumnus wife is a doctor in Los Angeles. She is working in UCLA, and they use open AI tools. And when they tell all the symptoms, prescription came, what is a disease, medicine, everything came. And this doctor asked, actually, I want some evidence for your inference. Some hundreds of evidence generated. This article, this paper, this article, this paper, this article. And to her surprise, when she went to the articles, most of them fake. Right? So that is how, AI period is misused. That is the reason I said the relevance and importance of Tirukkural in this AI era. You see a Kural. No need I have to waste time on that. எப்பொருள் யார் யார் வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு. நிறைய பேருக்கு அது கிடையாது. Able to understand? You get something immediately, share it. அது சரியா சரியில்லையா ஒன்றும் யோசிக்கிறதே இல்லை. எக்ஸலன்ட். Not even investing any time. Okay? Absolutely no. Super குரல். எப்பொருள் யார் யார் வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. And there is another குரல் to support this. எப்பொருள் எத்தன்மை ஆயுதனும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. Great two குரல்ஸ். Great. நான் சொன்னாலும் யார் சொன்னாலும் உன் புத்திக்கும் பொது அறிவுக்கும் பொருந்தாத எதையும் ஏற்காது. Am I correct or not? Unless you get convinced, listen to your inner voice, whether it is right or wrong. Self-evaluation before share it with your group. Okay, right. Then I have some two more corals which I would like to present. One is நுண்ணிய நூல்பல கற்பினும் மற்றும் தன் உண்மை அறிவே மிகும். Many times I used to tell students, you people are intelligent, but I am not a fool. I never say I am an intelligent, you are a fool. The other side is much more smarter. The current generation is too smart, much smarter than us. Say yes or no. Too smart, too smart. There are some people, they say current generation get to pochin. Absolutely no. With all these devices, they are doing phenomenally well. Phenomenally well. But I tell them, you are intelligent, but I am not a fool. I am not a fool. Where? At that evaluation part. Right? I am not evaluating your paper, I am evaluating you. Right? So there are many people whom you say they have studied a lot of books. I don't want to name people because sometimes we should not talk in object level. We have to talk only in class level, not object level. Seriously, very important. Because as a teacher, I am very careful. I compare two things. One is top-down approach, the other is bottom-up approach. Top-down approach means give the message, then explain. This is what I call top-down approach. Bottom-up approach tells small stories, finally message. Finally message, right? And easily what is that, the other one will register. Which one? Bottom-up approach. That is the reason the serials are popular. Am I correct or not? We never bother about what is happening in our house, but we are interested in what others' house, right? Yes or no? So top-down approach, the example is Tirukkural. Bottom-up approach, the example is Mahabharatam and Ramayana. Tell stories, finally message. But here, strong message, very strong message. Such a richness. What? Tirukkural. Which all the time I call treasure or Ara Kalanjiyam. Right? You can map anything. Even for stochastic process I use Kural, but I am overshooting. Nunniya nool pala karpinum mattandan unme ariviye muhim. Now students kitta solluven. Don't be yours obediently. Our great person. He is not a yours obediently person. Yaru? Professor Ananda Krishnan. He is a person with guts. Am I correct or not? Say yes sir. No. He never for what I said, yours obedient. Sincerely arundirikalam, faithfully arundirikalam. But never what? Yours obediently. No need, you have to be obedient to your parents. Some parents used to curse me, right? But what does it mean by that? Don't follow line by line what they are telling. You should have your inner voice. Appa sonna ni kalyanam pannade. Amma sonna ni pannade. Ivana kalyanam pannu. See whether your inner voice accepts or not. You take responsibility. You take responsibility. That is very important. Our inner voice, that is our unmai arivi. And the last one, இது இன்பத்து பால் தான் வருது, பட் நமக்கு ரொம்ப சூப்பராக எனக்கு பிடிச்சது. இதுதான் மெஷின் லேர்னிங். மெஷின் லேர்னிங் வாத்தியார்கள்லாம் நல்லா பேசிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. இந்த ஒரு லைன் போதும். அரிதொரு அறியாமை கண்டாட்டால், forget about the other line. Whether it is love or knowledge, right? அரிதொரு அறியாமை கண்டாட்டால். The more you read, the more you realize how much you don't know. That is the core of machine learning. That is the core of machine learning. The more you read, the more you realize how much you don't know. Right? So this is very important. You read and realize many things we don't know. Still, lot of things can be, explored from Tirukkural. I don't know all the Tirukkurals. I have to admit. I know some, computer science, some maths. For that, I find some mapping. Whether it could be modeled comparatively. Right? So I have to thank Mr. Nedunjeliyam for giving a nice opportunity of meeting you all people on this Sunday. Right? Thank you so much. Thanks for your patient hearing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nararajan, for that fascinating exploration of how timeless ethical wisdom like Tirukkural continues to guide us through the age of artificial intelligence. Our next keynote address features Professor Dr. R.M. Pichappan, Chairman and Professor Emeritus, School of Biological Sciences, Madurai Kamaraj University, a globally renowned immunologist and human geneticist. Over a distinguished career, Dr. Pitchappan has pioneered India-centric research into the immunology of infectious diseases, including landmark work on leprosy and tuberculosis, and into human population genetics. He is perhaps best known for his role in the National Geographic Genographic Project, working alongside Dr. Spencer Wells to trace the deep ancestry of Indian populations and the very first out of Africa immigrations that peopled our subcontinent. In December 2020, his lifetime of work was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award of the Genomic Medicine Consortium, United Kingdom, a recognition given to just 8 scientists from India and only 30 across the world. Today, he directs pioneering ancient DNA research at Madurai Kamaraj University, helping to scientifically date the Sangam age through the celebrated excavations at Keeradi, Adichanallur and Kondagai, work that speaks to pride and antiquity of the Tamil people. In 2019, he was a keynote speaker at the 10th World Tamil Conference in Chicago. His address today is titled, "Nature Does Not Have Courtesy." Please welcome Dr. Pitchappan to the stage.
Just 1 minute, sir. Mr. Pitchappan sir will be joining. Just give me a second.
இது வேண்டாம் எடுத்து
இல்லை அது அவங்க கேமரா ஷூட்டிங் உங்களுக்கு கரெக்டாக இருக்குமா
ட்ரிப் ஆயிடும். அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த ஞாயிறு மாலை ஒரு இனிய நினைவுகள், திரு அனந்தகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களை பற்றிய இந்த விழாவில் எனக்கு ஒரு பங்கு அளித்ததற்கு மிக்க நன்றி. நண்பர் நெடுஞ்செழியன் அவர்களுக்கு எனது நன்றிகள். இதே அரங்கில் 30 ஆண்டு காலத்துக்கு முன்பு நாங்கள் ஒரு ஜெனடிக்ஸ் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் இருந்தது, பயோடெக்னாலஜி. குந்தலா ஜெயராமன் எங்களுடன் மதுரையில் இருந்தவர். இந்த ஞாயிறு மாலை ஒரு நாள் ஒரு டெலிஃபோன் மணி ஒலித்தது. 3 மணி இருக்கும். தூங்குவதற்காக ரெடியாகி கொண்டிருந்தேன். யார் வேண்டா வெறுப்பாக ஒருத்தர் கூப்பிடுகிறாரே என்று எடுத்தால், ஐயா பேசணுங்கிறாங்க அவங்கள்ட்ட அப்படின்னு அடுத்த முனையிலிருந்து பதில் வந்தது. சரி, அது அவங்க வர்ற வரைக்கும் பேசிட்டு இருப்போன்ட்டு நீங்கள் என்ன ஏதுன்னு கேட்டாங்க. அடுத்த 2 நிமிஷத்துல இந்த ஐயா வந்துட்டாங்க, பேசினாங்கன்னாங்க. என்ன பிச்சப்பன், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? மினிஸ்டர் சிதம்பரம்லாம் உங்களுக்கு சொந்தக்காரங்களா அப்படின்னு அவங்களுடைய பாணியில் கேட்டாங்க. ஆமாம் அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். எதிர்காலத்தை பற்றி நான் பேச போகிறேன். கடந்த காலத்தை பற்றி நான் சொல்லணும். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி பிலிப் டோபியாஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் ஒரு அறிஞர் 80 வயசு கொண்டாடுறாங்க. நான் ஆன்லைனில் ஒரு வாழ்த்து தெரிவிக்கணும், என்னை கேட்டுக்கிட்டாங்க. அதான் உங்களை கூப்பிட்டேன். உங்களுடைய ஜேர்னி ஆஃப் மேன் படத்தை எல்லாம் ஃபுல்லாக பார்த்துருக்கேன் அப்படின்னாங்க. சரின்னு ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் உறவாடி கொண்டிருந்தோம். அந்த டெலிஃபோன் மணி ராஷ்டிரபதி பவன்லேருந்து எனது வீட்டுக்கு வந்தது. திரு அப்துல் கலாம் அவர்கள். திஸ் இஸ் தி பவர் ஆஃப் சயின்ஸ். ஏன்னா நெடுஞ்செழியன் சொன்னாங்க, நம்ம குழந்தைகளை எல்லாம் எந்த அளவுக்கு உருவாக்கணுங்கிறது, பவர் ஆஃப் சயின்ஸ் என்னங்கிறது நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள் அப்படின்னாங்க. அதனால் நான் இந்த லெக்சரில் அங்கே இங்கே தங்குவேன். தாண்டி குதிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. ஐ கவர் அ வைட் ஏரியா. திருக்குறளில் மட்டும் இல்லை, ஏஐ பற்றி கவர் ஒரு இடத்துல சொல்கிறேன். அனந்தகிருஷ்ணனை போற்றி போற்றி நாம் வணங்கி, it's a humble homage to MAK. Let us cherish his values. I take this opportunity to remember and salute Professor Anandakrishnan. I have interacted with him a couple of times. I remember at this stage my mentors also. Starting from my school age, Venkatadurai Iyengar, school Srinivasan, Samuel Raj, my PhD guide Muthukurpan, and my mentor, postdoc, Professor Jean Dosset, the Nobel in 1980 in physiology and medicine. All these people played a very crucial role in shaping my career. I belong to a business community called Nattukotte Nagaradar. It fascinated me, their culture and their lifestyle. And I have been born in a middle-class family. And I have now written a book on how a caste has been formed. Because the ஜாதியை ஒழிச்சிட்டா இந்த இந்தியாவே ரொம்ப உருப்பட்டுரும் அப்படின்னு எல்லாரும் சொல்ல கேட்டிருக்கோம். What is the realityங்கிறது? What is the meaning of caste? It's a sociological institution. Most of us forget about it. The basic unit next to ego is the family, children, extended family. Then at the village level, the society. And we live in an ecosystem, we call it. That is more important. We need to realize our role in the ecosystem, each one of us. Then the country will be in a good shape. And the knowledge economies like USA, they are interested only in the capitalistic world and money making, not very much interested in you as such. You are disposable. You just work for me, I pay for you. That's what is happening even today. Okay, then this campus, whenever I enter, even my son also told, there is a statue somewhere here. I do not know how many of you have seen that. Dr. Alagappa Chettiar, who was instrumental in starting the AC Tech here, which turned into Indian Engineering College and maybe laid the foundation for the Anna University. I salute all these leaders, and as my title of the lecture shows, the nature doesn't have courtesy. We all have plenty of courtesy. And Dr. Natarajan, as a teacher and a mentor, we should be having much more flexible. But still, it is because of the nature this world is progressing, not because of our individuals. So what is death? It is a cessation of all biological activities. Brain death, they call it nowadays. So then you become immortal, like MAK, and we all worship, or Alagappa Chettiar. Okay? Now, why I just put first that Tavaram was, it is just not for that poetry alone, it is just the coordination that the children have shown and the resilience, and you forget everything at that moment and when you are doing that. I just research into everything, most of the things. As we go further, you will learn more about it. So, the teacher is something like a ladder. And don't forget them ever. You always need to revere. Many times, the present-day children, they just throw away the ladder after they have climbed. That is an issue. Now, what all the universities, vice chancellors, and registrars are all concerned about, the plagiarism, you call it in the parlance. So, Mada, Pita, Guru, Daivam. Remember always, nature doesn't have the courtesy. And what I have done are there in many of my lectures. The links are all available in the web. I have a printout. But if you can receive it in the mobile, then you can directly click and then you can go to that. So I have requested Nedanjalian to really provide it to all of you. So the nature is an impartial force governed by laws, and there is no emotion or intention for that. It is neutral. It simply follows natural laws without concern for human needs, do not adjust to human expectations. Its processes are neutral and indifferent, and it doesn't have any kindness or cruelty. It's neutral. Now, if you just say what is life, it is an active functional unit, and it differentiates from animate from inanimate matter, which we study in the school level. Then it is characterized by perfect organization, synchronization, metabolism, growth, adaptation, and reproduction. Now, the span of an individual's existence or experiences that makes up a living journey. Each one of us, we have our own history. Yesterday is a history, today is a reality, tomorrow is really our expectations, okay? Now, if you just take scholars, divide them into three, that is a biological perspective, psychological perspective, and functional usage. What I used to tell is, these Thevaram, Tiruvasagam, or whatever these people, mostly these are all adopted by the elderly people. It's not so appealing, as he said, that the Tirukural. It's not so appealing to the youngsters, okay, the growing children. So we cannot really blame for that anyway. So it is something like the philosophical thoughts are all, without knowing the eternity, what will happen for them. They all used to be much older people. That they really, it becomes a philosophy and thoughts. And they created gods that way. Anyway, now, science is a passion. In the first place, realize. Now, it's not simply education, but I talk about science. It is not a job. Don't take it as a job. If you take it as a job, you will be a failure. You should love it, and it is by genetics or it is by intuition, you can call it. To be successful, you do the job that you like the most. Okay? Otherwise, you will end as a misfit or fail. This is what is happening with most of our people now in this modern day society. Peter Medaver, who described the tolerance in his book called The Limits of Science, tells who can be a scientist, he questions. Anybody can be a scientist, whether you are a mason or a dancer or a singer, artisan, you can very well be a scientist. You know, in this case of the children singing that song, that is the perfection, okay? So it is only a careful observation, dedication, and now recording and analyzing. Now, the honest and sincere work will ever be rewarded. This is what my professor, Samuel Raj, at the UG level used to say. My student, Brahmajyoti, won the Lancet's Investigator Award in 1995 for our paper at the tuberculosis conference in Washington, D.C. She received the prize for research proving that patients' immune system health links directly to how well their body responds to tuberculosis chemotherapy. She worked alongside Dr. Pichappan and her team to study how host genetics and immunity affect severity of tuberculosis. They found that patients with strong cell-mediated immunity recovered better. These are some scientific jargons, but this is the system that my mentor, Professor Jean Dosset, discovered in Paris, and I had the opportunity to work with him for about 1 year. Now, the fallacy is, when this paper was submitted to a journal called Tubercle, the editor accepted it. By then, he had to retire. Then the next editor was appointed. That editor said, no, this is of no value. So we have peer reviews, and as scientists, you know that most of the times these are all biased based on your past experience, caste, creed, and race. This is, again, in that same article, in 3 pages this appeared. That Lancet is, I think, a weekly in the medical journal, most popular. In another page, still there are reasons to be cautiously optimistic. The tuberculosis research community is small but vigorous. One example of such research is the work of Brahmajyoti and colleagues at Madurai Kamaraj University, whose study of the immunogenetics basis treatment response won the Investigator Award. Well, then, this is just the photograph in another page. It appeared. When I tried to retrieve the photograph, I got only black and white. And I requested my friend who is there at Tuberculosis Research Center in NIRT, Chennai, who is here in the audience, to get that paper from there. And he found, and only that issue was missing from the archive-bound volume. Then he asked his son to make this black photograph into color, because this is not very legible. And he made it and showed him a few. That is a color photograph using the artificial intelligence. And her original photograph is there on the top. That is her photograph. Just to see, there is no correlation at all between the face of original face and the artificially intelligence recovered. So, even if you do in science, you have to always verify, you have to always repeat it. This is more important. So, I am not against AI, but beware of AI. And you should not find fault with AI or find fault with your data, your own data. Then you will be a successful scientist. Now, we made a dent in 2001. That was in 1991, the tuberculosis. In 2001, we found a major susceptibility locus for leprosy in India, mapping to chromosome number 10p13. This is an elaborate study. Leprosy was so common in India. Even now it is there. Transmission is occurring. Only thing is, it is curable. We have medicines now. And we don't have weeping leprosy now. Mostly tubercular leprosy we have. Now, this was published in Nature Genetics with the highest impact factor of 30i. And everybody, that was the first paper from India. And my co-author there in Oxford, we carried out this work in Oxford, called Adrian Hill. I will tell more about him later. And this is called whole genome scan study that day, state of the art. This was verbatim repeated by another study, that is Mira et al. In 2003, again in Nature Genetics. This time the cohort was from, I think, Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. 2 genome scan studies confirming the same thing. It's very rare. That means there should be, in other words, the host has a major role rather than the parasite in the disease manifestation. Generally, we feel it is because of the parasite we get the disease. No, it is because of that host allows the parasite to grow in your body. So tuberculosis patient's lung is an ideal broth for the TB bacilli to grow, but not the husband or not the other people in the family. We call them as resistance. This is immunology, okay? So then another one is, we all nowadays, the scientists know the citation, classic or citation numbers, how many times your paper has been cited. Pitchuppan et al. Have studied, and that's all. That is also a citation. Studied and we refute it, a citation. Studied and we confirm it, that is also a citation. Okay? It's very rare that it is confirmed. This study again we carried out, that is, you all know that Monto test, which is used as a test for tuberculosis. And that is actually, many people don't have, 10% of the people at least don't show this positivity in spite of exposure. So we call it as a spectrum. And this is just like that. One side serum antibody level, another side cell-mediated immunity. These are two arms of the immune response. It is reciprocal. Okay, see again 3 different kind of immunoglobulins we tested. So this was verbatim confirmed again in anti-IgG in another paper next year. 2 papers confirmed. We read with interest the article from Pitchuppan et al. Regarding immunological response. We also perform and we confirm. Only one paper, they take it as a reference, they study, they confirm. You are happy about it. It's better than thousands of citations, in fact. Okay? So, for quite long I have been observing the Indian caste system is so different and so disparate. And the disease prevalences are also so different in different parts of the country. For example, the central nervous system disorders like multiple sclerosis or Alzheimer's and all are more common with the later migrant populations or tree branches in the human evolution. I will talk to it in a minute. So then I wrote a review called Lotus and Cactus Model. You cannot grow a lotus in a desert or the cactus in a pond. Why? You call it as adaptability, what he mentioned, in the evolutionary terms. So this was published in Infection Genetics and Evolution. Not all the infected develop the disease, a lotus and the cactus model. The why 99.99% of the infected do not develop a serious disease. This is the reason how we all have survived COVID-19. Okay? So that is the, then coming to the HIV, WHO and everybody said, oh, it's going to be a Holocaust for the whole world, and then sub-Saharan African countries face wrath of it, and orphans, HIV orphans they used to be called, in plenty. Because there the family unit was not that strong, and promiscuity was a problem of disease spread. In India, what they found was, it was through high-risk behaviors and drug users. That was a study. And here we found once again a allele called HLA-B57 that is really give protection to HIV. Now, for example, these people with the HLA-B57 is highest there only in southern India. Okay? And if they are infected, this is a study carried out in Bangalore in high-risk individuals, high-risk behavior individuals. And those women infected with this HIV, if they have HLA-B57, they don't develop the disease that quickly. Only their CD4 count is normal. They live for a very long time. In other words, this has a very greater significance in terms of epidemiology. They are going to infect another 10 people per month. In them, the disease don't develop. But in the recipient, it may flare up. A European consortium study confirmed this verbatim. So this is actually
The
the India
HLA-B57, the red
immunogenetic map.
spots in the map are common in India, but only in select populations and castes
There has
of
been
India.
some sound background.
Thus, not all the populations may be equally susceptible to HIV. The HLA-B57 all over the world are allied suppressors and long-term non-progressors. This exemplifies the Lotus and Coctus model.
Actually, this map I prepared for Professor Jean Dose in 1980 based on the information available. That red dot, you see that throughout India, that is a B57. That was called as a Telugu haplotype in a 1972 study in Durban, Africa, among the people who said. Then when I really enlarged the South Indian Tamil Nadu sample, you see that in the next circle here, each one is a caste. You see that not all the castes have this red dot. So they are so disparate in terms of susceptibility, they are all so different. In other words, the nature creates a variety. This has a greater significance. This is what already I mentioned about the B57. Now, let us just look at for some time how India was occupied by man. 70,000 years ago, there was no man outside Africa, modern man. For the first time, a small band of people emigrated from Africa and came to India. They settled in southern India first. Actually, it was a coastal migration. They finally reached Australia in another 10,000 years. 16 kilometers per year they traveled. So, there is a migration. There is also an autochthonic expansion of the people who have settled there in different places, and which resulted in linguistics and cultural divides. And the take-home message that we have shown already is, no caste is pure. Everybody is a lineage like a branch of a tree. So in 2001, this was published in PNAS. It was made into a documentary, and the story was told by Spencer Wells, our postdoc from Oxford, called Journey of Man. It's available in the web. It is a 2-hour documentary. Okay? So you can construe this tree as a human tree, modern human tree. The bottom trunk, you have A, B, C. These markers are there only in Africa. One marker called CM130 characterizes the first immigrant man whom we identified in Virumandi, okay, near Madurai, 40 kilometers west of Madurai. Then was another F, the red one, there in Western Ghats in plenty. Paliyar, Pulayar, Kadar, Irular, all these ancient tribes they have. And they diversified. The whole rest of the world was populated from this F. That is what all you see here above. Now, what all I have marked is only those markers specific to India. If you go to Wikipedia and other things, you get the whole world map and then ramifications.
சுட்டுகின்றன. அதில் இன்னைக்கு நமக்கு முக்கியமா நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டிய டாபிக் என்னன்னா, ஆப்பிரிக்காவுக்கு அடுத்து மிக வளமான ஒரு துணைக்கண்டம் என்றால் அது இந்தியா. ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் முதல் மனிதன் தோன்றினாலும் ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் பெரிய நாகரிகங்கள் தோன்றவில்லை. உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். பெரிய நாகரிகங்கள் மொழி வளர்ச்சி என்பது இந்தியாவில் தான் தோன்றியிருக்கின்றது. அந்த இந்தியாவிலும் அவனுடைய முதல் சுவடு தென்னகத்தில் தமிழகத்தில் நடந்திருக்கின்றது. இன்று நமக்கு அதற்கு சாட்சியாக விருமாண்டி அவர்கள் இங்கு அமர்ந்திருக்கின்றார்கள். இந்த விருமாண்டி அவர்கள் அவரை ஏன் முதல் இந்தியன் என்று நாம் சொல்கின்றோம் என்றால், அந்த 60,000 வருடத்திற்கு முந்தைய அந்த மரபணு மாற்றத்தை தாங்கிய ஒரு மனிதராக இன்று நம் முன் இருக்கின்றார் அவர்கள். எனவே இவரை இந்தியாவின் முதல் மனிதர் என்று சொல்கின்றோம். அப்படி என்றால் சுட்டுகின்றன.
Actually, in that 2001 paper, we studied 250 samples from 3 different caste groups from Madurai. There were 12 samples. These were seen distributed in all the 3 populations that we studied. That is Piramalai Kallar, then Saurashtrans of Madurai, and then another one, I think, Yadava. Saurashtrans of Madurai has a known history of migration into Madurai, only during Vijayanagara Empire. Then the question was, how come this gene really inroad into this? It is simply a miscegenation. Those days, the family and everything is what we see now, monogamy, family, everything is just only circum-Chola period, not earlier to that. Earlier to that, it was a female-centric society, and actually Dravidian kinship, if you really call, Trotman has written about it, and it was throughout India, it was present. Okay? Even Krishna married, I think Rukmani, it is the uncle, right? Uncle-niece marriage. So now, then another project that I undertook, this was after my retirement, I don't know whether I have that slide. 2006 I retired, $1 million from National Geography I received, and the mandate was to sample 10,000 people from all over India and study for their Y chromosome and mitochondrial DNA, deciphering the migration. Okay? Now, out of the 12,500 samples that we have had collected, if you just look at the proportion of all these genes, you just recall the tree what I mentioned, okay? Showed earlier. Then this yellow one is about 19%, green one is also 19%, and this one is about 7%. So each one has a correlate with the different language speakers, whereas the green one is pan-Indian, present in everybody. So we just further analyze, and it is known that you see that a cluster of the basal branching, when we really stratified based on the states, it is clustering only in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. That is the Deccan. This is where their enlargement have occurred. This is based on the coalescent time, the age of it, okay? So, in the world level, the trees have been dated. You know, mutations, based on the mutations, how many mutations have accumulated, you can date. This is another method like carbon dating in archaeology, okay? If you just take that say for example, 65,900 years ago, that is a possible time of origin, and then the sample that we have so far, live sample, 48,000 years. And in India, we get about 40,000 years. So like that, we just identify the migration route. Now with the whole genome scan also, that's being confirmed with autosome and others. This is in fact the Dravidian speakers, their gene pool, how they are different. You look at this, whatever I mentioned about the ancient tribes of Nilgiris, Irula, Kota, Betakurumba, Pulayar, Paliyar, they are all characterized by F, and this is a cluster and this is a median. Whereas the Central Dravidian tribes are characterized by H marker, that is a green one, which is a pan-Indian marker. And this is Govans, Kurumba, and so on. That's including Tamil Nadu. And this is in fact the Dravidian, L1A 27 M76 they call it, okay? So there is a huge expansion after the initial migration in India. India has been the most successful, as Michael would put it. Its evolution and cultural evolution was at par with Mesopotamia or other things, even time date. So this is actually another most recent paper, again by an Indian author but working in America, called Priya Murjani, and the 50,000 years of evolutionary history of India. Insight from 2,700 whole genome, of the whole population of India. 2,700 people, they sampled for a project in All India Institute of Medical Sciences called the Lassi Dad Project. All about 60 or 70 years old, aged people. So she has reported the first arrival of modern human was somewhere around 50,000 years. If we infer minimum coalescent time between Indian and Sub-Saharan African is 53,000 or 54,000 years. So our finding earlier, 2001 finding based on Y chromosome, Eurasian markers, Heartland paper, PNAS paper, was confirmed. That's what that we have done. I will just come to our educational system. What is wrong with the educational system? Nothing wrong with the system, but it is only with the people who execute it we have the problem. It is in fact a man-made disaster. Actually, Nedunjalian and our MAK's book itself has brought it very vividly with all the statistics. I was most impressed with one of the later findings. As a result, the divide between the rich and the poor is widening like anything. Now, it is a problem of governance and it is a problem of service providers. Education is in the concurrent list, but the problem is state is not obliging its obligation. And center takes its control so far. Or states also, they take more controls. Most of the syndicates members have been replaced from professors to government officials. Okay, that's the issue. Then, out of 28 universities or so in Tamil Nadu, already 12 universities or so, I think, they don't have the VCs at present. Does it mean we lack manpower? Or does it mean that we lack quality? Where does the problem lie? Nobody bothers about it. Academia neither bothers about it. Okay? Now, more and more state control is another major issue. We see reporting to ministers and government machineries. VCs are directed to function in a particular way. And then, of late, the rift between governor and the elected government. So, it is a national ideological failure. British left their bureaucracy with India, but they changed. After independence, I was told they were also in such a same status like India is. We are still in the same status in terms of corruption and everything. Why we have not changed is a question that we need to introspect. All India Survey of Higher Education 21-22 showed, as per the Ministry of Education, about 4 crore students, 28.4% is a gross enrollment ratio, and the government puts it 50% as the target. Now, the key challenges, as per the government white paper, Status of Higher Education in India, why differences in access and quality across states and districts, rural and urban centers is called as a reason. And another reason, faculty shortage, uneven teacher quality and limited professional development. This is a lame excuse. This is the failure of the states training them. Then weak research funding and low global research visibility in many institutions. Another one, mismatch between academic learning and labor market needs. This may be true with engineering, but not with many others. Again, this is not a reason, I believe. It is applicable only to certain areas. Then affordability barriers for disadvantaged students despite scholarship and loan schemes. Need for stronger accreditation, governance and accountability mechanisms. The policy and government failure, I will call it. Wholesale revamp is the need of the hour. So we have, in spite of all the social justice, everything that we have done, poverty alleviation, we have compromised heavily on quality. So the flaws in the system, I would tell, in my opinion and assessment, as it stands, only 5% of the teachers, anywhere you take, are fit to be teachers. This is my view. Then the corruption and nepotism on some count or other. Then a defunct administrative mechanism and always searching for alternative. Okay? And the changing scenario, it is inevitable that we have to run with the globalization and cope up. Now, education in India has changed from missionary zeal of the Western people, like Nagargoil and then Tambaram Christian College, okay? Then the public, it became. Then philanthropies, people like Alagappa Chettiar and then Annamalai Chettiar doing it in the earlier days. Then the privatization of education, self-finance system, and capitation fees. So we have so many different structures. And I worked in different quarters too. And the private ones are not better than the government ones as one day. They are much worse in some places in terms of administration. The issues, the problem is neither the teacher nor the government knows what is the purpose of education. Purpose of education is only employment or equal to employment. That's what most of the people think about it. The purpose of education, that of formal education, is to prepare you for your life. And, yes, ma? Anything? Okay. So, for example, top rankers are failed. When we were on behalf of university, when we go to various colleges, we found in one of the Palayam Kotte, 100 years old college, a student who stood first in most of the subjects failed in one subject. Asked why. Sir, it is possible. It is chemistry. It is all the more possible. It is practicals. He didn't attend a class. That practical came for the examination, so he failed. They didn't give alternative for him to experiment in the lab, or in the examination they didn't give alternative. So the very purpose of education is defeated, or evaluation is defeated. Then the autonomous colleges and self-finance colleges came in here. And earlier days, they used to get from the shops of the owner rice, that's all their payments. Then state universities concurrent list is the issue now. Vacancies not filled. 20% of the staff only are available in most of the universities. And then salaries, many private institutions resort to contract laborers. Then the problem is, again, the audit objection. Madurai Kamaraj University suffers because of this like hell. 30 years old audit objection, the person would have died. Still, it is there in the roll. And the audit department of the government, local audit department, they don't want to release the grant. Once I talked to the secretary and then they release the grant. But how many times? So these are all the issues. It can be done. Then the retrograde steps, government doctors are not permitted to attend any conference. I got an invitation in 1990s for a doctor who collaborated with me to participate in a Japanese conference. No, government did not give permission. And non-medical should not teach medical students. Third grade thoughts of the elites. Then people trained in one subject asked to teach English or some other subject irrelevant to them. This happened to me. Then research students in India, as per their rule, has to travel only by train. I would not have done my genographic project sampling nook and corner of the country. National Geography, we got the permission and they can fly and then collect the samples. So once I was in the finance committee, when I asked, finance officer of the university said, no, I am responsible only for the expenditure. I am not responsible for collecting arrears from the government. So it is a vicious circle. So it is simply apathy. Regulations are all in place, but it is flexible 1 to 100%. Governments, bureaucracy, short-sighted professors do not want this to happen for their favor. At the end of the day, nobody owns the baby. That is the status. Now, need of the hour is innovation, invention, appropriate technology, government policy change, and self-employment. For example, in terms of innovation, we collected all these DNA samples in our project all over India only by giving them 1 ounce of water in a tumbler, ask you to spit it back. In half an hour, I would have got all the samples of the people sitting here. This we did in Tezu, the northernmost, northeasternmost village, Indira Gandhi College. There I went, there was a person called the Kamraj teaching there. So that is India anyway. This is innovation, okay? Now, revamping the system, qualified a teacher, tenureship, and online examination, everything, no subjective. And student-centric policies, social justice, quality assurance, and transparency and governance. So the governance can be, the corrections can be made with advisors from the think tanks, okay? They will be prepared to help you, and manpower management, and like National Highway Authority of India. You know, I never thought we will have a road like this some 30 years ago, okay? That happened in India. So we are capable of converting it, okay? And e-administration, when I was in Oxford, in just 3 months, they changed everything to e-administration, way back. It's still in Madurai Kamaraj and the state, it is not there in the site. Do we lack in manpower, computing manpower? No, only imagination. So the social justice without compromise. And the solutions, there are so many, I will leave it due to paucity of time. Maybe this will be, lecture will be available in online and you can see that. Then a few words of inspiration, okay? Now the progressive outlook of the West have taken them farther. Study the subject you like, no boundaries. You would excel with cross-fertilization of ideas. This is Professor Adrian Hill. He is the director of the Jenner Institute now. When 1991, I met him in Japan. He was a postdoc at that time. When I visited him first, 95, he was in John Radcliffe Hospital as a postdoc, still working on the table. Then I used to send him the mail saying that Professor Adrian Hill, he said, no, Bishop, I am just a student, postdoc. I told him, no, you would become a professor soon. Next year when I was there, he was in a room, he was assigned with a room, and I sat, the department secretary came and put a plaque called Professor of Genetics. Straight appointment. Can it happen in India? The knowledge is respected there. Here, knowledge is subjected to the HODs and all the other parameters. He is the discoverer of the Oxford vaccine company he floated, and the COVID-19 vaccine, which AstraZeneca produced. Now he has a malaria vaccine also. Now, all the more, this is the model that our universities need. He is not paid by Oxford University. He has been conferred only the University of Oxford professorship. He built in all his salaries in his grant. Any amount he can build in. It is up to the donors. He is, I think, Mittal professor. Yes, Lakshmi Mittal professor. Oh, you are doing good. I want you to support and do that. That is a kind of encouragement that they get. This is the another one I mentioned, 24 paper, you know, Priya Murjani. She is a computer graduate from Mumbai, but she is a PhD from Harvard. Now, she is the professor of genomics in molecular biology department. Here, we won't allow, mathematics department will not allow anybody else as a professor. So this is the kind of problem that we have. This is the forward-looking, futuristic. So investigators with their own grant, contract research, and university provides all the universities, investigator fetch money, institution. I discussed with Adrian Hill, we discussed with Wellcome Trust, we created fund for India. So the Wellcome Trust announced next year when we went that you will be given maybe that much of money for 5 years, all the provisions, your salary and everything. Only requirement is somebody should be prepared to accept you. After 5 years, they should be prepared to take you into their role. Okay? No. India didn't want that. India put up another committee, Indian side, who will screen that. And this was meant only for younger generation who want to return to India after 5 years of Western stint, who has published well. In India, somebody was sitting there, big names. They gave a huge grant to already a sitting professor in a elite institution, husband and wife. Shame. The very purpose was defeated. And we defeat ourselves. We don't really realize that. So I have just given many. So India, we defeat everything. Now the Wellcome Trust then appointed their own guy. Now it has again become a government bipartite machinery, which is not really functioning very well. So why Indian students excel in the West? This is the youngsters should know that. It's a good education in India, yes. It is a protected teenage. Less of a cosmetic problem, less of a dating. You don't know to cook food. When you come home, your mother keeps food ready, whether you are a boy or a girl. Then you have more time to study. Mom cooks food, father pays your tuition fee. But in the West, to be trained as a medical doctor, the parent has to spend so much of money. In India, it is available free of cost. Okay? Still, we don't realize some of the good positive points. Now, my self-sustenance model, I developed years ago in transplantation matching service. You know, the HLA system I learned in Paris was used for organ transplantation also. Once V.C. Kulandaisamy's colleague's son, they wanted the matching. We performed it in Madurai. And he was so happy and said that it is an example how a basic laboratory can help the clinics. And I used to get about 1 lakh rupee per month, per year. For about more than 10 years, we offered this to even CMC Vellore. We plowed in that money into research. This is the model, that again you need in the universities. So this is the defense system of our body called immune system or lymphatic system. You know that. Nowadays PET scan is so popular. If you have a cancer or something, first they prescribe a PET scan. That means whether any lymphadenitis is there. They are the soldiers. What does it do? They keep the invaders of your body, destroy the invaders. Okay? Now, as we age, the surveillance mechanism fails. Cancer cells escape and consume our body, the whole body. And the inevitable occurs and kills more for a day, like MAK remembered now. This is applicable to kingdoms, countries, and nations. You just take that way. So man must learn from history. If you really try to tilt it, you will have the problem. Our homage to MKA, let us cherish his values. I cannot but condemn the inevitable man-made sufferings of mankind in this civilized world. Let us pray kings rule with empathy, mourn for a minute, we pay homage to our brethren who lost their lives, homes, cities, everything in the global conflict. Are we living in a civilized world when we look at the televisions, what is happening, the pounding and destructions? So that is what I just wanted to share with you. The situation is grim, but not intractable. We can overcome that. This pitch-up-in documentaries is available in YouTube, but only one thing or a few minutes clipping I want to show you, because most of us didn't know what India was or is, and one British document storyteller, historian, 6 hours in BBC World in 2007, it was telecast, called The Story of India. You just yourself hear what he says about India.
It had been passed down to him from the very modern man. Lab work. The journey our ancestors launched all those years ago.
Okay, thank you. I leave it to you to see that later. If any comments or I would like to discuss. Somebody raised something in between. Yeah, please. இதுக்கு ஒரு மைக் கொடுங்க. மைக்கில்
My name is Ambalavan. I am a 1991 College of Engineering graduate. I am also a student of Halappa Model High School from Karikudi. And I just want to share my thoughts. You talked about the educational system issues, particularly in Tamil Nadu. One of the major problems that I see in engineering education in Tamil Nadu is when I studied College of Engineering, Gindi was a standalone institution. It has nothing to do with the other engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. All the engineering colleges were with the different universities, Madurai Kamaraj, Bharatidasan and different universities. What the current system has become is College of Engineering Gindi has become the regulatory body for all the 450 engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. Currently in College of Engineering Gindi, the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering or all of the dean, they are busy with taking care of the engineering colleges across Tamil Nadu. There is no, the current status is, there is no real research, there is no real teaching system that immediately that need to be done is, the College of Engineering Gindi has to be separated out. It should not be the regulatory body for the engineering colleges. Anna University should be, like there should be a separate regulatory institution or body, whatever it is, that should be established. That should be responsible for managing all the engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. So this is something, because recently the higher education minister also has told that the new Tamil Nadu engineering education is much worst when compared to the other state engineering. Because 30 years back, we are the highest one. Thank you.
You want to answer? Sir can answer. I wish there should be a forum wherein these kind of exchange or views are collected and voted how to revamp the system. See, everything is available. We are not lacking in anything, manpower, intelligence, our younger generations. But somewhere, நம்ம வீட்டில் போனோன்னா சாப்பாடு ஒழுங்கா இல்லை அப்படின்னா சத்தம் போடுவோம். ஹோட்டலில் போனால் நல்லா இல்லைன்னா இன்னொரு ஹோட்டலுக்கு போவோம். இப்போ இந்தியா விட்டு எங்கே போகிறது? அமெரிக்கா தான் போகணும். I agree with you, but something should happen, miracle should happen. That's why king should really behave ethically. That's what I mentioned. Yes?
So, due to time constraint, we'll take the questions later. No, the sir has to catch a flight. Please don't mistake me. We'll have a discussion. I have to just wind up in 5-10 minutes. A prize distribution ceremony, please.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Pichappan, for a deeply thought-provoking address and for sharing your remarkable scientific insights with us today. We now move to a very special part of today's program, the Dr. M. Anandakrishnan Memorial Scholarships and Prize Award Ceremony. In association with Professor T.R. Jagadeshan Sir, Director of College of Gindi, TICF and other esteemed professors have helped to identify talents from nooks and corners of Elagiri district. These awards that are going to be rewarded to them recognize and support the class 12 and class 10 students from tribal government colleges in government schools in Attavanur, Elagiri district and Vellore district
who have gone to secure admissions into top reputed government colleges. I now invite our dignitaries on stage to present these well-deserved honors to our young scholars.
Let us begin with class 10 toppers. Out of 500, Swatha got 466 marks. Tarunika got 464. Livita S got 462 marks. Class 12 toppers, out of 600, P. Jayapradeepa got 546 marks. Bhuvaneshwari got 531 marks and Dhanushri got 495 marks. We now recognize our college admission scholarship recipients. Naveen Kumar, 3-year B.Tech in Plastic Technology CPIT. Kavya Risa J,
Jayaprida got admitted in Dr. Ambedkar Law University, School of Excellence from Nilagiri Tribal School. So Dr. Anandakrishnan scholarship, we have given some 43,000 for this student. Thank you. That is her wish. She wants to become a judge. This is 1 minute. Students from 10th standard. Name? Bhuvaneshwari, 10th standard was
531 marks. Dhanushri, 495 marks. Naveen Kumar, 3rd year, B.Tech in Plastics Technology, CPIT. Kavi Arisa J, 1st year, School of Architecture and Planning, Anna University. Jaya Pradeepa P, 1st year, BA/BL, the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University. Hariharan S, 3rd year, Mechanical Engineering, University College of Engineering, Kanchipuram.
So Naveen is doing a CPET, single parent, and we have given 27,000 for Naveen for this particular one. Kaviras is basically studying in School of Architecture Planning, Anna University, 1st year, and we are given scholarship of 27,000 for this particular student. from Yelagiri. Deepak, and basically a first generation learner, and father is a Tata Ace driver, mother is a tailor. Deepak has joined in IIT Dhanbad, and first semester without any arrears, he got 7.02 CGPA without laptop, and we are given the first initial amount of 34,500 for Deepak joining in IIT Dhanbad. Wish him all the very best. Deepak is a very inspiration story. We put it in the YouTube also. You can just watch. Next, we request Ms. Alia. Alia is basically, the family is struggling a lot. So we help Alia to continue in 10th standard at Immaculate Heart of Mary School. 54,000 we have given to her. She's coming. Chennai. All the way. Then Hariharan, mechanical, from studying in University College of Engineering from Thiruvarur, given 12,000 rupees. Come on, Hariharan, good ma. Certificates. Momento. Sorry. Okay, next. 12th is there. Okay. Okay. So next we request Ms. Tharika, and who helped us to coordinate with all the students in Yelagiri. She is also in 12th standard. And இவங்க தான் எங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்குமே கோஆர்டினேஷன் பண்ணி எங்கள் அப்ளிகேஷன் டீமுக்குலாம் அப்ளிகேஷன் போடுறதுக்குலாம் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. And one more thing, this time, first time, there are 4 students from Yelagiri Tribal School. They cleared JEE Main to JEE Advanced, but they are not qualified. But it's a good attempt. There are 3 students now. They shortlisted for IIM Mumbai interview after +2. Okay, from Yelagiri Tribal School. All the way. Thank you, ma'am. All the best. Next, we invite Assistant Headmaster, Mr. Srinivasan sir, who used to coordinate with us. And we thank Professor T.R. Jagadishan and all the faculty members who used to visit very often to Yelagiri from mathematics and chemistry and all the departments. And he was a pillar for support for us. And we thank Mr. Srinivasan sir for providing this wonderful opportunity. Certificate? So this is the first time Yelagiri is making a footprint in the national universities and institutions. அவங்க ஏலகிரியை தாண்டினது கிடையாது. இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் அண்ணா யூனிவர்சிட்டிக்கே வந்திருக்காங்க. லாஸ்ட் இயர் த்ரூ ப்ரொஃபசர் டி அஜய் வி காட் 7 seats in Chennai. We'll take a group photo, sir. Yelagiri students, please come to the dais. Those who are got benefited, Deepak and other people, please come to the stage. We'll take a group photo. Hello? Students from Yelagiri, Deepak, and whoever got awarded, please come to the stage. Alia? Ma Deepak enga? Vaijanti? Deepak. Please come. Vaanga eduthu vaanga. Sorry. So Srinivasan sir, please come, sir.
எல்லாருக்கும் வாழ்த்துக்கள். பெரிய ஆள் தான்.
Congratulations to all of our brilliant young awardees. May you continue to make your families and this institution proud. Before we close, I'd like to draw your attention to the copy of the Indian education system available today for rupees 2,000. All proceedings go directly towards the education of underprivileged students. Do consider picking up a copy on your way out. To know more about Professor M. Anandakrishnan, our team has also put together professormark.in, a website dedicated to his life and legacy. So do take a moment to visit and explore it. As we near the end of this memorable evening, I invite Mr. Nedunchalian D., social entrepreneur, educationist, and founder and CEO of Technocrafts Indian College Finder, to deliver the vote of thanks.
So, good evening, everybody, and respected dignitaries and distinguished parents, speakers, and beloved students and parents. As we come to the close of this evening, it is humble to privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. But before I thank anyone present, let me first bow before my great soul and who brought us to all together, Professor Dr. Padma Shri, late Professor Dr. A. Anandakrishnan, former Vice Chancellor of Anna University, former 3-time Chairman of Board of Governors of IIT Kanpur. He was not only merely an educationist, he was an institution builder, visionary, a teacher, in the truest sense, and he taught generation of students to look beyond their notes, to question, to think, and to rise. He believed that even the most ordinary student carries the seed of extraordinary achievement. My own life transformed his guidance, and it was an honor and my lifetime to co-author a book with him. Unfortunately, we could not be able to release with him. So, sir, this evening, like the four before it, belongs to entirely to you. My heartfelt gratitude to the family of Professor M. Anandakrishnan, especially Satyan Anandakrishnan Anna and all the Annas, and former director of the James Webb Telescope, Mr. Satyan, and for the deeply moving the family tribute. And from this very Guindy campus to far edges to the universe, what a fitting reflection of heights of Professor M. Anandakrishnan inspired his own family to reach, and your presence turned this event into homecoming. My deepest thanks to two of our eminent speakers, Professor Dr. Natarajan, Dean of Placement and Training, PhD College of Technology. Sir, your address, the relevance and importance of Tirukkural in the AI era was extraordinary. In an age the machines are learning to think, and you reminded us that the Tirukkural teaches us how to think rightly with ethics and clarity and humanity. Professor Anandakrishnan, who stood the meeting point of the technology and value of all his life, would have cherished this word, every word. And Professor Dr. M. Pichappan, Chairman and Professor Emeritus of School of Biological Sciences, Madurai Kamaraj University. Nature does not have the courtesy, drew from a lifetime pioneering research in human genetics, and left us with a profound truth. Nature is impartial, and it's resilience and inquiry that carry us forward. Thank you for your traveling be with us, and with the new windows of thought with every young mind in this hall. Both the lectures touched the theme of the closest to the Professor M. Anandakrishnan's heart, and kindling the curiosity and inspiring the students to look beyond the textbooks. And you did not merely speak about him, but you spoke like him, and there can be no greater tribute to him. I sincerely thank the Registrar of Anna University and the University Administration for the gracious support in hosting us in this campus, and where Professor Anandakrishnan's legacy lives in the corridor. My special congratulations to blessings to the recipients of the Yelagiri Tribal School, especially Professor T.R.J. and Dr. M. Anandakrishnan Memorial Scholarship, and the gracious support from the family, and the bright students of the Tribal Government School in Athanaur in Yelagiri Hills, and to our 10th and 12th toppers. Children, you are living in a continuation of his dream. Study well, aim high, and one day you can come back and light the lamp of these others. Thank you all academicians, alumni, friends, and well-wishers, and every walk of our life who joined us today. And this is the fifth successful year, the memorial lecture, 5 years of keeping us flame alive, and with your blessings, and we shall continue decades more. No event happens on the stage alone. My sincere thanks to our video team, publicity team, all media people, and my entire Technocrats India College Finder team, and the family and friends of the Weeks of Silent and Dedicated Work, and to this wonderful audience. Thank you for filling this auditorium with warmth and basically reverence. If we have fallen short in any arrangement, I seek your kind forgiveness. Professor Anandakrishnan believed education must light lamps, not fill vessels. Tonight, together, we have lit one more. Thank you all. Nandri, Vanakkam. And I thank both the professors and giving a very short notice and the arrangements and everything. Thank you, every one of you. And thank you for your valuable support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nedunchalian sir. And now, before we depart, I request everyone to please stand up as we conclude this evening with the national anthem. Thank you all for being here today.